Hmm. Oh, well, we'll see what happens now.
We'll see.
I wonder if we turn it sideways. If it's nope,
No, we can't turn it
can't do that way. So, well, all right.
This is the funniest thing ever. So hopefully we sent invites to Katie
Katie and Carissa.
and Carissa. So let's see if they can join us. But we wanted to share some things about, Iboga. And we wanted to share what it's like to come to a retreat. We wanted to share some things, like clear up some things around the general questions people have. We've been noticing a lot of buzz on Facebook and especially on Facebook, more so than Instagram. I feel like there are a lot of Facebook groups or Facebook pages where people are asking a lot of questions, like a lot of really basic questions that we thought we could spend some time today working with you guys, answering questions. And where people are asking a lot of questions, like a lot of really basic. Hi, Carissa.
Hey, Carissa, just mute yourself.
Mute yourself, yeah.
Oh, and she
She exited herself. Okay, Carissa, come back.
come back.
And don't mute yourself. Because what we'll do is we'll want to talk about what it is to be at a retreat. So we thought, hey, Carissa, we kind of got things going. Oh my gosh. I think we're the last people in the world that should be doing these live events, but
Bossy.
figuring it out. So Carissa, this beautiful soul, has been to one of our retreats. So she's actually been to a few of our retreats. Over, like, when did you come to the first one? Do you remember? Oh, we can't hear you.
9 years ago, I think.
There.
Yeah, 9 years ago. Yeah.
9 years ago.
Yeah.
So she's been a good friend of ours and a guest of ours for a long time. We've known you longer than 9 years, though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So we thought it would be really nice for us to talk about the retreat experience and what that means. And not just about the time you spent with us in retreat, but the time that you took to prepare, or maybe if there was differences in your preparation between the different times you've come, and then also what integration was like for you. And I think that is the key point.
Okay. Well, this last retreat obviously was the best out of 3 for me. And I think a lot of it had to do with the community that you guys have put together. The preparation work really made me go inside and figure out exactly what my intentions were. And it made the process really easy. Like I knew exactly, well, the medicine knew exactly what I needed at the right time. So, yeah, the preparation was great. The journal entries and all the prompting and stuff like that have been so good for reflecting and catching these aha moments since coming home, integrating back into life. Yeah, I guess I feel like it's a full package deal this time. And doing the microdosing too it's reconnecting me every week, despite all the things that happen in real life. It's definitely shown me a way of being with the flow of the medicine and not going against everything that I used to always have in my head.
Well, I had a question for you then. So, big buzz around this kind of medicine, and we see visions and everything else. So, do you always see visions?
No, not always. The first 2 experiences I did. This time I was going for a lot of PTSD and trauma from an accident. And I had been suffering quite badly with night terrors and probably lost more than half of my sleep over the last year. And the medicine this time decided to cradle me in love and let me rest. And I feel like I do remember a lot of brain detox going on, where things that would just run through my head all the time, everything was coming out, and I was at first confused, like, well, why is that? Why am I thinking of that? Um, but really, it just did a huge cleanse on everything, so that now I have all this space in my own container for this new life that I have.
Mhm. Mm. So what I'm hearing you say is that it's not necessarily about getting the visions, but receiving the messages that are for you in this moment to help you move forward where you're at.
Right. And I didn't even realize what a lot of the messages were, because I feel like I slept through like a baby. Um, but obviously, it was doing all this internal work, and only over the last couple of weeks um, have things been becoming so clear. Like, oh, well, that's why this happened, or "Mm, yeah, this makes sense now." So
Yeah.
it's been unfolding each day since I've come home.
Hmm. And you've been home now a couple months, right? I think it's been a couple
9 weeks
months.
today.
Yeah.
8 weeks today I've been home.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I think that that is like one of the most important things is that we our guests can often feel like almost panicked during like the 7 8 days they're with us, or
Mm.
so they feel panicked because they're like, I have to do it all now. If I don't get all my answers now, if I don't get all the insights now, if I don't get visions, if I don't get this and that, then it's not going to work. But that's not how Iboga works.
No, not at all. The medicine knows exactly what and when you need to know what you need to know. Um, y- y- yeah, it's been very, very clear, some of the messages that I was supposed to get, and the love that I was supposed to believe in.
Hmm.
Every day it gets stronger, actually.
Mm.
Yeah, Bessie. Yeah, we love that.
Mhm.
So we Katie's here and we wanted to invite. So yay, we figured it out. You know what the problem was?
What?
You can't do this on your laptop. You can't do the invite guests on your laptop. You have to do it on your phone.
Mm.
Oh,
So
well,
yeah, we
learning
learned
something
something.
new every day.
I know. So okay, so and I actually love that. I love that we're always learning new things. And I know for a lot of people, especially the younger generation, this is like a no-brainer. But, you can teach an old dog new tricks because we're learning every day. And
Who's old?
so
Right under the bus.
now I pointed myself too. I have to I can be okay. I'm okay with where I'm at in my life. I like being 50. So Katie, tell us a little bit about you and let's stay with Iboga first and what
Yes.
you would like to just let people know.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I was just listening to this conversation, but I had just hopped off the phone with another client. And Carissa, what you were saying about how this medicine kind of slowly unfurls to show you clarity is such a true point. We hear that all the time, that this medicine tends to bring people back to more of an authentic viewpoint of what life is, instead of all of the clutter and noise that surrounds them. So, with that mental clarity that people get, sometimes we can actually open up some somatic space too, because so much of our trauma is in the story, but it's also in our body. So I love to study trauma. I am an inactive, I was an integrated PTSD trauma therapist. I made my license inactive so that I can focus more on teaching. I can focus more on doing things like this, and facilitation as well. And Iboga is such a beautiful medicine. And we've seen a lot of combination with Ibogaine and 5-MeO DMT, usually in flood doses of both at the same time. But Iboga is kind of it's more like a stream than a flash flood. We like the way that when we work with Iboga, we're titrating the dosing to effect, which is really beautiful because it's like a river against the land, right? So it's just a gentle carving and a gentle way to like get to the end point without having so much all at once. That's my same belief with 5-MeO as well. I love the idea of slowing things down in order to be really present with it. And when we think about 5-MeO as it's typically utilized, we're thinking about big flood doses, which is the dissolving of the body and the consciousness expansion and big releases of emotion and energy kind of all at one time, but in a very short span. And what I find is that people are working through the continuum of emotions from the fear to whatever the end point is in that particular journey, but instead of having it elongated, they're hitting it this fast. And so it's a very, very quick, very abrupt medicine. Because I love trauma, I see the way that trauma interacts with the body, and I have a preference for slowing things down, for opening things up in a way that allows us to be settled and with it. So when we're working with low dose 5-MeO, we're working with doses that just have a lightening effect on the body. Lightening is in like lighter, not like lightning, a lighter effect on the body, and just like a very, very gentle opening, but keeping our consciousness exactly where it is, which is in this body, in this time, in this present moment. And I like this with the combination of Iboga because Iboga helps us to understand and feel, kind of excavates things. And the 5-MeO opens it up so that we can really just be with it and kind of befriend it. So it's a longer process than the 5-MeO that we're typically hearing about. This one is about 15 minutes if it's smoked or inhalated. We're actually delivering it a little bit differently, so it lasts nearly an hour. So it actually gives us an opportunity to be with our body, to be with the sensations, to be with the story in a way that helps us to understand it moving forward. It's almost like integration in the moment, which is one of the things that I really, really love about this molecule in this way. And I think paired with Iboga, which tends to integrate in the moment, oftentimes also, it's just a really sweet pairing. And, both will teach us how to be present, how to understand, how to observe as we move forward in our life, as like the ongoing integration happens. So I'm personally really excited to be able to offer this medicine so gently in combination with the integration of Iboga at our retreat. So this is like the good stuff.
Yeah. And
And
so,
it's just so good on its own. It's like Iboga doesn't need anything else. It really, really doesn't. But this is just another way. It's just another way to be able to come into presence.
Mhm.
yeah. And I think so we have our next retreats that will be coming up in September and October. One will be just the 2 Ibogaine or Iboga ceremonies. So the 2 flood doses, the way we've done it most of the time. And then our second one in October will have the incorporation of the 5-MeO. So just so people know that we're offering both for what fits for you, because I feel like it's fine. There's no quick fix. Let's put that one on the table. There's no quick fix. Iboga's not here to fix us quickly. If you want a quick fix, yes, we can get some really cool shifts after Iboga. And once we know something, we know it, right? When we have a revelation and we have an aha moment, that stays with us. That doesn't change.
Mhm.
But we're talking about bringing what we learn in any plant medicine space. We got to incorporate that into our everyday life. Our life is not a retreat, right? Our life
Mhm.
is when we go home. And the beautiful thing about Iboga is it comes home with us.
Yeah, literally staying in your body. It stays in your body. It's converted to nor-ibogaine in your body, and it gives you just a little bit of additional help, like a sustained microdose, if you will, that
Mhm.
is stored in your body until your body releases a majority of you know, what you've gotten from the doses at the retreat. So, and even in spirit, it's not even just the molecule itself, but it's the
Right.
spirit of the molecule. And so many people find that there is an ongoing relationship that they have with Iboga. They can kind of understand that Iboga voice, or, you know, the messages that come through that are like very Iboga style, you know,
Mhm.
which is really cool.
Have you noticed that, Carissa?
Sometimes, most of the time, yes. This time was not in style for me, and it was what I needed. So just trusting in the medicine
Yeah.
um, is how it makes it that much more powerful for me. Being able to let go of like any of my inhibitions beforehand, um, and expectations.
Mhm.
Just trusting that I could trust the medicine, and
Mhm.
it does. It makes things at home. I like how Katie said, Iboga just goes in and does the excavating. That's a really good analogy. And
Mhm.
Yeah.
then the rest is work. It's not, like you say, it's not a magic pill, but it gives you the tools that help comfort you and give you peace in knowing that the path is your path.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the one thing you'd mentioned that was it's not a quick fix, and let's be really clear on that. There is really nothing to fix because you're not broken,
Right.
right? None of us are broken. You know, we're not coming here with missing a spiritual arm or a spiritual leg or something.
Right. Yeah.
It's about allowing us to remember who we are, because it's all
Hmm.
been clouded by all the stories and all the other junk and stuff that's been polluting us and our environment as we've been
Yeah.
moving through this experience. You know, and much like with the Bwiti Masoko, it's a tradition we work with and serve from. You know, the Bwiti, it's the study of life, your life,
Your
and
life.
how to live your life to the fullest, full of joy. You know, and they've been using this for generations upon generations, for eons. And it's for clarity of mind, it's for connection with nature, it's for a connection with spirits, connection with our higher power, our higher self. Connection with everything in life. you
Well, I
know
can definitely attest to that. I've been
Yeah.
doing nothing but enjoying and playing and living full joy since I came home in a way that I don't think I ever have before.
Living your best life. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you were. Yes, you
I
were.
I also want to clarify that, like, you've been living your best life in full
Yeah.
joy, but
Yeah.
it not everything has been easy.
No, no, but somehow um, there's some sort of a peace, knowing calmness that is has stabilized in my emotional regulation, my spiritual beliefs. Huge, huge impact there. Um, and it just makes it. Now I trust something. I trust someone. I trust myself. And
Mm, awesome.
yeah,
No.
I got to bring me home, and it's been pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
That's beautiful, Carissa.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you, you guys.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
You did it.
I can't even explain what a pleasure it was to have Carissa at our last retreat.
Mm.
Like, you were just this little light of joy and happiness, and you enjoyed every aspect. You just, and it wasn't because it was easy.
No,
It was
there was a
just,
lot of work.
it was a lot of work.
Wow.
And I think that really showed when we make a shift to bring joy into our life, to bring this, to make that conscious choice of, like, you know what, I'm just going to enjoy this. I don't care.
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
just going to enjoy every moment, every meal,
Not
every
say no to
day to
anything.
stand.
Mhm.
Yes, I love eggplant. Now I do.
You know, I just think that that makes a shift in us, and that
Yeah.
when we're then have to do something difficult, when we then have to do the hard thing,
Mhm.
we can still find joy in in spite of it.
Yes,
Or even in it,
in
even
Or
it.
even,
in it. To
Yeah.
be able to say, like, this is the thing that I love so much about Iboga, is that because we're so present with it while we're in it, we actually have the ability to feel the emotions, and unless, we get the sleepy time version. Otherwise, we're feeling the emotions as we go through it, and we are learning that we're actually capable of navigating what comes up instead of having to
Mhm.
avoid it. Like, there's an additional support there. And I think especially the way that we're running retreats, because we're so attentive and we're checking in and we're making sure that, like, what it is that's occurring in there is something that you have agency over also, in conjunction with
Mhm.
this higher wisdom of this medicine. And yeah, for people watching, sometimes people do just go into a state of very, very deep rest with this medicine as well. But, as Carissa is saying, that doesn't mean that you're not getting all of the benefits of it. It just means that the
Right.
medicine knew you needed a rest.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I felt the repair. I felt the healing, even though I couldn't remember it the next day or so. Um, and now getting to just live and know
Mhm.
this is the way it was supposed to be, and it's the
Yeah.
best kind of hard work I've ever had to do.
Yeah. Because when you were coming to this and you called me up and you just had this major big car accident and everything else, and then, one thing on top of another and everything else, the complications of it, and just life and everything, everything was moving towards this moment. Everything was shifting so hard, so much pressure to shape a diamond. It was so much going on. And I remember you saying to me is, I just want to get my connection, feel that connection again that I have with the medicine. I'm so lost in everything right now. And it's so
Hmm.
hard. And it was so hard for you. And you almost
What?
didn't make it, and but you persevered and you said, I don't care, I'm going, it doesn't matter. And you did.
I fought tooth
And
and
you,
nail to get there.
and
Yes.
then you get there and then you're sleeping. You know, you're not laying there all night working, going through it, working. Good morning, you're like, oh, I slept. I don't know. I'm sure it happened. You had to really trust the medicine that it knew that you needed to rest, to
Yeah.
recover, to recuperate while it worked in the back, like you were saying, in the background,
Yeah.
because it does do that. It's
Mhm.
that intellectual, it's that loving. And another thing you ask too is like, because we can ask, I just want the medicine to show me this. I want it to show me. We see it a lot of times with our vets and other people. It's like, just punch me in the face. Just kick me in the chest. Just show me it. I can take it.
Yeah.
And you ask for it to show you with love and grace and kindness because
Hmm.
you knew that it has that in it, and it did.
And that's where I learned that not everything has to be done the hard way,
Yeah.
and to have
Mm.
patience with myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's a really key point that you just said, Krista. We don't have to learn everything the hard way. But when life has been really hard, that's what we're used to.
Yeah.
We're
Hmm.
used to that. So we think, okay, lessons are hard.
Hmm. And I
Mm-hmm.
And I
went
love,
in preparing for war.
yeah,
When you're
Mhm.
bracing. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Iboga kind of teaches us how to, like, loosen
Like,
up a little bit. So when a wave hits, it can just roll around us instead of pushing against us and getting knocked over.
that's
You know,
exactly the
creates
water
that
goes around.
the
Yeah.
flexibility. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm. Beautiful.
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like to point out too, it isn't the common thing for people to sleep on
No.
iboga.
Not.
Well,
Sorry to tell y'all.
Yeah.
I'll tell you I had a pretty bad post concussion syndrome after the accident, and my scores were at about 3.7 out of 10 before I came to Iboga, and I'm now at a 8.9 for my
Wow.
cognitive memory
Awesome.
and cognitive ability.
Wow. Yeah, and that's
Mm.
incredible and amazing, and I'm so happy to hear that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also not out of the ordinary that we hear that.
Mm-hmm.
We are working with somebody with microdosing who was very, very close to being on the edge of being diagnosed with early onset dementia, forgetting where they were when they were driving. And since starting the microdosing, has had no cognitive issues whatsoever. Again, this is not a magic pill. It works different for every single person. But,
Yeah.
when we can reduce the inflammation and start creating these new neurological pathways,
Yeah.
I mean, it can really shift things for us. It can
Mm-hmm.
really shift things for us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I want to bring it like to the sort of, spiritual side of things in like, we come here with a plan, right? We come here with like a plan for what we want to learn and understand about ourselves and discover. And Iboga is not going to take a lesson away that we haven't yet learned.
That's right.
Mhm.
So Iboga is not going to disempower us. What Iboga does is help us know and understand what we need to know and understand in that moment to either learn the lesson
Mhm.
or to help us understand what it is we were originally trying to do so
Right.
that we can get through it, so that we can learn it, so that we can have clarity around it. So it's not a cure-all. It doesn't just come in and cure everything. And I know there's a lot of talk about all these really amazing things Iboga can do or Ibogaine can do. We'll just say, if we say Iboga, Ibogaine's in there because Ibogaine's in Iboga. So it's just that like Patrick says, we're spiritual beings, experiencing a human life,
Yeah.
right? So what are we doing? Like Iboga helps us connect to that side of things,
Mm-hmm.
helps us to connect to ourselves. That is the main point of Iboga. The main point of Iboga is not to fix us. It's for us to understand
Mhm.
how to live our life in the most beautiful way possible.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Katie tells this story at our retreats about the little soul.
Oh.
And I'm not going to give anything away. You just have to come to a retreat to hear it, and it's worth it just for that. It's the most amazing, amazing summary of our journey to here to Earth with this existence and this experience.
Yeah.
And Krista knows all about this story.
Yeah.
No, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I wish I could tell my grandkids one day when it's time, but I don't think anybody tells it like Katie does. So I might have to.
It's getting more and more emphatic every time I tell it. And it's like, I think this is the thing that I love so much about Iboga, though, is that it creates a shift in perspective. And when I was
Yeah.
describing this to somebody, I was saying it's clearing out the noise, it's clearing out the clutter so that we can actually consistently hear that voice that says turn left instead of right. Go back
Mm-hmm.
inside and get a pen off of the countertop instead of leaving right when you wanted to. And then you miss the accident, or you miss like something. But that's
Yeah.
part of what this medicine does, is it helps us to highlight that higher wisdom that we actually have, coming back to this, the clarity of trust that you
Right.
have built within yourself. And that's really what it is when there's so much static, you can't hear your own voice, you can't hear your own wisdom. And this medicine helps us to do that.
Mhm.
And that in and of itself is a massive shift in perspective, because so much of the weight that we carry is our own judgment. It's our own, like, we're shooting on ourselves all of the time.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be this way, or I have this expectation, which is like this weird made up rule that I think that I have to live by, but it's all self-imposed because of my belief systems and guilt and shame and all of the things. And I bogus just like this, all of these strings, like, you don't need that.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's left is like this clarity of, oh, wow, look at how many judgments and beliefs I've been carrying with me that have really limited me from being the person that I knew that I could be, or didn't even know it was possible to be in some cases.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
That's like the biggest spiritual gift that we could ever get.
Yeah. That's what steals the joy.
Yeah. Oh, that's a t-shirt. Another t-shirt.
Another T-shirt.
Yeah,
We can have a whole
So,
merch line by the end of this.
that's right.
so I wanted to point out because we brought it up inadvertently, I think a few times. We talked about microdosing.
Mm.
And so I wanted to just take a few minutes here. If anybody who's watching has a question, please feel free to ask. We'll answer it. Put it in the comments. But microdosing, is not the same as microdosing psilocybin or any other medicines we like to microdose. Um, it's very different. Iboga is it's a really big spirit for one. So we're dealing with a really big spirit. We don't need to take a lot of medicine to be able to connect with it at all. I know, again, what most people hear about is flood dosing. And so I think there's this idea that the more the better. It's not always necessarily true. Iboga can help us create big shifts and change within ourselves with tiny little doses. And we do them like once a week. We don't do them every day. Please don't. For the majority of the people out there, taking Iboga every day would light your nervous system up way too much.
Yeah.
So, what are you saying, Katie? What did you write? Okay, you got to go.
I have a
Do
client.
you want to say something? If you want to say goodbye or whatever.
Something. Goodbye. Thanks for joining us with this very fun Iboga, like go with the flow lesson.
I know.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, and definitely stay tuned. Get on our mailing list if you're watching us and you don't know us. We'd love to be able to share our offerings with you. Join our community. I think that's probably the last thing I'll say. We've got all kinds of like beautiful information in there and lots of workshops and lots of collaboration, and it's really beautiful. But until next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Changed it. There we go. There we go. I think I did it. Did I remove her? I don't know.
No,
Patrick's gonna do it.
I don't know.
So I wanted to talk about microdosing and just to let people know that it's something that we do very intentionally.
Mhm.
It's something that we do with a lot of one-on-one support. And so that's built into how we do it. So we don't just sort of say, here's or a small bunch of medicine, take it on your own, do whatever with it. Dosing is up to you, be intuitive. No, we need direction. When we don't have, when you don't have a relationship with something and you haven't been able to spend that time working with it, you need help to fine tune it and to understand how the medicine talks to you.
Mhm.
Because Iboga can talk to us in all sorts of really interesting and beautiful ways.
Mhm.
And one of the things it loves to do is amplify something to draw our attention to it.
Mhm.
But in that amplification, when you don't have the mirror, the feedback from someone else, you may think you're just doing it wrong. You
Yeah.
may think, you've gone backwards. So we feel that it's very important to have somebody in your corner who knows how to work
Mhm.
with medicine, that can support you during the process. And the beautiful thing about microdosing is when we microdose, we're doing it as we're living our life.
Mhm.
Unlike when we do a flood dose where we go somewhere, we take a big, bigger dose of medicine, and then we come back to our life. Microdosing is something you do in your life.
Mhm.
So since Carissa, you've done both,
Yes.
what do you think? Like, what do you feel?
I feel so blessed that we do the one-on-one for the microdosing. It's kind of like having a companion hold your hand through it. And um, mm, I don't know, I look forward to being accountable for that every week and getting to get your guys' prayers and blessings. with me and the medicine. Sorry, was there another question in there?
No, I just was just curious about, like, for you, what do you think? Was there a difference between taking the flood dose and taking a microdose, or do you feel
Well,
like
yes,
they just,
because I'm awake all the time now when I do the microdose.
yeah, right?
But I think too, like Katie was saying earlier, it's kind of like a river. It's not like being hit with that big. It's not like a big wave in the ocean that like knocks you over onto the rocks. It's more like that creek that comes down, and um, I don't know. It's a safe. It feels safe to be and supported to have this beautiful container set up by you guys and a space where I can honor that.
Mhm.
Hmm. You know, our elders in Gabon, that, you know, they talk to us about, you know, when do we take Iboga? And they say, you know, you take Iboga when you have a problem or something you can't solve, that you just can't get through, then you take it. And it tastes bitter because it's not food. Iboga is not food.
Mhm.
I mean, I think it's like food from God, but it's not food. It's not something to just consume. You
Nope.
know, it's like, for us Canadians, it's like Buckley's. You know,
Mhm.
tastes bad, works good. You know, this cough syrup. You know, and it's a lot like the whole idea behind when do you take antibiotics? Only when you really need to,
Mhm.
and then you take it and you work through it. And with this microdose and like with the program we're doing it over 8 weeks. And what we're doing is we're helping people take it in a good way, in a very intentional way, where they see shifts, where they see things happening, not just on that day, but on the days in between. And a lot of people notice in the days in between, from week to week, there's a lot of things happening. And so that's one part of it. But the other part is over these 8 weeks is learning to build a relationship with the medicine,
Mhm.
with the voice of the medicine and the voice of, guess who?
Yes.
Us. Yeah, right. And we learn that because we can continue that on. Even
Mhm.
without taking the medicine, we can continue that relationship on.
Yeah.
And then we need to, when we cross something that's really worthy of the medicine, we can come to it and we can take it and it knows us and we know the voice and we have a relationship.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it. That's the whole point, is about building relationships with this spirit, not just about taking something for a quick fix.
That's
We
Mhm.
can
right.
take Tylenol or ibuprofen for that.
Hmm.
It's not the same,
Mhm.
you know? So this is really about relational. The whole idea, the study of life, your life, how to move through it. Basi.
Yow yow.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Aw, thanks, Cindy.
we love you too.
Well, we're at a little after 12. So we'll conclude our funny little first live, but we figured it out.
Yeah.
We figured it out, and we'll do it again. And we can set some things up to talk about some more questions that people have. We'll keep track of a few things that we're noticing that people are asking a lot within the different communities, and and just try to really speak about this in a way that is helpful and create safety and
Mm,
understanding around what it is we're doing when we're working with
mhm.
these beautiful medicines that you know help us shift consciousness.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's
And
great.
in about 8 days, we're off to Africa, to Gabon. Katie's going, and a few other brave souls are coming with us. There's about 8 of us.
Yeah.
And so we'll look forward to doing a Facebook Live afterwards
Yeah,
and
that'll be
catch
great.
everybody up on everything and whatnot. But until then, be safe, ask lots of questions.
Hmm.
Your facilitator should be able to answer them,
Hmm.
or at least find you the answers,
Hmm.
to go through this in a safe way.
That's it.
Bussy.
Yeah, yeah.
Love y'all.
Love you.
Bye.